Andrew.
Good morning. Nice to be back with you.
We talked with one of the guys who planned the Phoenix landing, who planned the entire program from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. And be honest with you, I sat there and watched NASA television when this thing actually entered the atmosphere of Mars and then landed there. And it was exciting television.
This really is very cool. And I think literally and figuratively cool in the sense that we're in the Martian Arctic, and really cool in terms of our ability now to pinpoint land on this other world.
Now, would you not say, I mean, obviously the Phoenix is there to unearth pieces of dirt and analyze it, but would you not say that it's a foregone conclusion that there is or has been water on Mars?
Oh, I think there's no question that there's been water on Mars. That we established with many other missions already. No, the question is whether in that water, long ago, at least the beginnings of life might have formed. And since the water has pretty much either frozen into the soil or evaporated in other regions of the red planet, it now is up to us to find those places where frozen water with perhaps the building blocks of life frozen in can still be found near the surface. And that's the reason we've landed in this frigid wasteland.
And this robot, this Phoenix, it'll be able to tell. I mean, it's going to do the test there on the planet.
That's right. It's got a built-in laboratory with tiny ovens and all kinds of devices to analyze. But the important thing to realize, so we don't get our hopes up too much, is this is not going to look for life. This is only able, because it's a small, relatively cheap mission, it's only able to look for the building blocks of life. Still, that would be a great step forward to know that frozen into the soil are some of the chemicals that make life possible.
So how often are you monitoring what's going on, every new detail?
Well, we're getting regular reports. Anybody can by just getting on the web and Googling Phoenix. The Phoenix team is really quite good at essentially releasing information as it comes. So you can follow along. Every day there are so many pictures, I don't even have time to look through them. Wow. Because their cameras are incredibly good. And, you know, like proud parents, you know how you are. The baby's born, and you take 37,000 pictures every time the kid's room.
Right.
And this is how it is with this space cart. We're getting a lot of pictures back. So the best website for people to go to, NASA has this wonderful website that people don't know about called Photojournal. It comes right out of the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. If you just Google the NASA Photojournal, every day they pick the best pictures from all the planetary missions with good captions. So that's what I would recommend. If you want to follow the mission, go to the NASA Photojournal from JPL.
Professor, are you excited as well about the launch, is set to go for tomorrow after so many setbacks of the GLAST, the Gamma Ray Large Area Telescope is about to launch?
Yes, this is also very exciting. This is an area, again, where a lot of progress has been made. Let me see if I can give a quick background. Gamma rays are super, super energetic forms of light. They're so energetic that our eyes can't see them, but our instruments can. And in fact, on Earth, to make them, you essentially have to blow up a nuclear bomb, which we don't like to do without adult supervision. But nevertheless, we thought that for the longest time in space, nobody was blowing up nuclear bombs, and there'd be relatively few sources of gamma rays. And to our amazement, in the last few decades, we've discovered that there are huge blasts of gamma rays coming from all over the universe. We don't fully understand them, but they appear to be very weird things. Stars exploding at the end of their lives, two black holes eating each other for lunch. Very bizarre, violent phenomena are going on. And the faint traces of them are reaching us here on Earth.
And how often do these gamma ray bursts happen?
Well, we don't know for sure because our telescopes have not been able to monitor all of them. They happen all over the sky, and part of the purpose of this large area telescope that we hope will be launched pretty soon is to give us a much better view of this gamma ray universe and figure out how many there are, how frequently they happen, and what the heck they are. These great blasts.
Professor Fraknoi, back to Mars. Are you in favor of a manned mission?
Well, That's a very tough question. I think ultimately we will have humans on other worlds, but the cost of putting a human on another world, the protective environment we need to build and guarantee, is so much greater than putting a robot. And these robots are doing so well in giving us the first answers. We astronomers are frankly worried that if we do start having a human program again, it's going to gobble up all the money that NASA has, and the science parts, the really cool exploration of getting to know what's out there, is then going to be put on the back burner. So if we were totally rich and there were no oil crises and no wars anywhere, sure, let's do both. But in the real world, I think we need to be careful not to spend all our money on just the prestige of getting humans out there and neglect the science.
We went to the website that Professor Fraknoi was talking about that has photographs of the Phoenix on the surface of Mars, and the resolution is quite high on some of these, and these pictures are fantastic. But as I'm looking at one, there's a shot of the tip of the Phoenix and then the Martian surface itself. It truly is the red planet, isn't it?
It is. It's kind of rusting. Some of the same chemistry that happens when things rust on Earth is happening on Mars, and so the soil has this reddish tinge to it. But if you look at the pictures, I mean, we're seeing details that are absolutely fantastic. Mm-hmm. And what's really been great is I in the last couple of days, we've had trouble with the soil. And I think most people who have backyards, particularly after it's rained, can identify with it. It's too clumpy. It's too hard. It's difficult to sift. And we're trying to get these tiny bits of soil into the tiny laboratory, and it's not going in. It's not working. It's too clumpy. So they're trying new strategies of shaking the soil, of sifting it, of sprinkling it, and just the ingenuity that these engineers are displaying, trying to get the hard Martian soil into our labs. It's fascinating to follow.
All right, Professor, why are we rethinking the structure of our home galaxy, the Milky Way?
Well, this is the big story from an astronomy meeting I just came from. You have to think about the fact that we live in a huge city of stars, mm-hmm. which is called the Milky Way galaxy, and we're in it, so it's hard to take pictures. It's somewhat like trying to take a picture of yourself from inside your kidney. You don't get a very good view.
Right.
And so we've been trying to figure out ways, plus the galaxy is also smoggy, which makes it difficult to see, full of dirt. And with heat rays, we've been trying to figure out ways to penetrate the dust. And the Spitzer orbiting telescope has now been successful in constructing a new map of our home galaxy, of our city of stars. And the structure is not quite what we had imagined when we really can see through the dust. Some of the areas that we thought were extremely thick, and we call them a spiral arm, may not be quite as thick as we thought. And so we have to redraw, it appears, the map of our home galaxy. And that's a pretty big deal, that the place where we live, we don't know it very well.
Well, it's a wonderful time right now in space exploration. There's a lot of very cool things happening. And as always, we have you to break it down for us.
Now, Professor, on this astronomy convention you just got back from, what do you do with your spare time during them conventions?
This is actually, I'm chuckling because this is long known among hotel people that when you have conventions of typical profession, car salesmen and so on, then many of the entertainment hotspots around the town get very busy.
Right.
But when you have astronomers meeting, nobody outside the hotel makes money. They're way too busy talking about cosmic theories to have any fun.
They're not calling strippers in from other cities then?
No, the only heavenly bodies we're interested in are out in space.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, Professor, as always, great talking to you.
My pleasure.